Your life is not your life, it's a story you tell yourself. From the moment you opened your eyes in this world, your life became a series of stories you absorbed, inherited, and told yourself. These stories define who you are, what you believe, and how you show up in the world. But here's the shocking truth: your life is not your life, it's the story you've chosen to believe about IT. Think about it. You weren't born with an identity, you didn't come into this world with self-doubt, fear, or limits. Those were learned, shaped by your environment, your family, your culture, and even the society you live in. Somewhere along the way, the voices of others became your internal dialogue. The expectations of others became your goals, and the judgments of others became your fears. But let me ask you something: whose story is it? Is it the story of a parent who told you to play it safe instead of following your dreams? Is it the story of a teacher who said you weren't smart enough? Is it the story of a society that told you success is measured by the car you drive, the house you own, or the title on your business card? These stories may feel real, but they're not. They're scripts you've been reading from without questioning who wrote them. They're narratives you've allowed to shape your choices, your mindset, and your destiny. The good news: you have the power to change the story. Here's the first step: recognize the story for what it is: a construct, not a fact. A belief, not the truth. When you start to see your life as a story, you gain the ability to rewrite it. Let's say your current story is, "I'm not good with money." How does that belief shape your actions? Maybe you avoid opportunities to invest, hesitate to ask for a raise, or overspend, because what's the point? But what if you chose a different story? What if the new narrative was, "I'm learning to master my finances"? That single shift in perspective changes everything. Your story determines your focus, and your focus determines your outcomes. If you believe you're stuck, you'll find proof to justify staying stuck. But if you believe you're unstoppable, you'll start seeing solutions, opportunities, and possibilities everywhere. The truth is, your life doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. You are the author, the editor, and the publisher of your story. Every choice you make, every action you take, every thought you entertain, they're all part of the narrative you're creating. So I ask you today, what story will you choose to tell? Because when you change your story, you change your life. It's not easy. It requires courage, self-awareness, and the willingness to confront the scripts you've been handed. But it's worth it. Your life is not set in stone, it's a work in progress. And the pen is in your hands. So write boldly, write fearlessly, write a story that's authentically, unapologetically yours. The conditioning of society and expectations. From the moment you are born, society begins shaping you. It hands you a script, rules, roles, and expectations that dictate how you should live your life. These influences start small, often coming from your family, then expand to schools, peers, culture, and media. Without even realizing it, you internalize these messages and allow them to shape your beliefs about who you are, what you're capable of, and what you should strive for. Here's the hard truth: society is conditioning you every day, from the clothes you wear to the career you choose, even how you define happiness. Society tells you what's normal, what's acceptable, and what's successful. And while some of these messages may have good intentions, many of them are limiting, outdated, or simply not true for you. Think about it. How often do you find yourself doing something because that's just what people do? You go to college because society says it's the only path to success. You get married by a certain age because it's what's expected. You choose a safe job over your passion because others might judge you. These expectations may not align with who you truly are, but the fear of rejection or judgment keeps you in line. You become a product of other people's opinions instead of the architect of your own life. But here's the question you need to ask yourself: whose expectations am I living up to? The truth is, society thrives on conformity. It creates rules to maintain order and comfort, but those same rules can become chains. They tell you what success looks like, often in material terms: a big house, a fancy car, a prestigious job. They tell you what happiness should feel like, often tied to external validation, applause, promotions, likes, and followers. Yet deep down, you know something's missing. Why? Because living up to society's expectations doesn't guarantee fulfillment. It might bring approval, but approval is not the same as purpose. To break free, you must first become aware of how society has conditioned you. Ask yourself, what beliefs do I hold that aren't really mine? Am I pursuing goals because I want them or because I'm afraid of disappointing someone? What would my life look like if no one were watching? Breaking free from societal conditioning isn't about rejecting everything society stands for. It's about consciously choosing what aligns with your values and letting go of the rest. It's about living from a place of authenticity rather than obligation. This process isn't easy. You may face resistance from others who don't understand your choices. But here's the thing, you're not here to live someone else's life, you're here to live yours. So what happens when you step outside society's expectations? You discover freedom, the freedom to define success on your own terms, the freedom to follow your passion without apology. The freedom to create a life that feels true to you, not one that checks someone else's boxes. Remember, society's expectations are just suggestions, not rules. You have the power to choose. When you stop trying to fit into the world's mold, you begin to shape a world that fits you. And that, my friend, is where real fulfillment begins. The life you want isn't found in society's script, it's waiting for you to write your own dot. The prison of limiting beliefs. We all carry beliefs, some empower us, some motivate us, and others hold us back. But there's a particular kind of belief that acts as a prison, one that binds us in chains and keeps us from reaching our full potential. These are limiting beliefs, deep-rooted convictions that we've accepted as truth, even though they're often far from it. Limiting beliefs can take many forms. They can be thoughts like, I'm not good enough. I'm too old to change. I'll never be successful because I don't have the right connections. I'm not worthy of love, happiness, or wealth. These beliefs aren't facts. They are ideas, constructs, often created from past experiences, failures, or opinions of others. But over time, they become so ingrained in our thinking that they start to feel like reality. They become the lens through which we see the world, and in turn, they shape our actions, our choices, and our behaviors. Think about a time in your life when you felt stuck. Perhaps you were facing a challenge or pursuing a dream, but something inside you held you back. Maybe it was fear, doubt, or the nagging thought that you weren't capable. That, my friend, was a limiting belief at work, creating a barrier between you and the life you want. Limiting beliefs are not inherently bad, they're a natural part of being human. They're formed as a way to protect ourselves from failure, disappointment, or embarrassment. But here's the catch: these beliefs, though intended to protect, often prevent us from taking risks, stepping outside our comfort zones, and embracing the greatness within us. They keep us small. The key to breaking free from these limiting beliefs is awareness. You must first recognize the beliefs that are holding you back. Ask yourself, what beliefs do I have about myself that might not be true? How have these beliefs shaped my decisions and actions? What am I afraid might happen if I let go of these beliefs? Once you identify the limiting beliefs that are running your life, you must take action to dismantle them. You must challenge them head on. Here's how. 1. Question the belief, ask yourself, is this belief actually true? Most often, you'll find the answer is no. You'll realize that this belief was formed based on assumptions, not facts. 2. Replace the belief once you've identified a limiting belief. Replace it with a positive, empowering belief. If you believed I'm not good enough, replace it with I am capable and I have everything I need to succeed. 3. Take bold action. Beliefs become real when they influence your actions. Start taking steps toward your goals, even if they feel uncomfortable. The more you act in alignment with your new empowering beliefs, the more they'll become ingrained in your reality. Here's the thing, limiting beliefs are not the truth of who you are, but rather a story you've told yourself over time. And the great thing about stories is that you can rewrite them at any time. You have the power to break free from the prison of limiting beliefs and step into your true potential. The moment you let go of these self-imposed barriers is the moment you unlock a whole new level of freedom. You'll see possibilities where you once saw obstacles, opportunities where you once saw failures, and confidence where you once saw doubt. Remember, your mind is a powerful tool. The beliefs you choose to hold on to shape the life you live. So choose beliefs that serve your highest vision. Choose to believe in your worth, your potential, and your ability to create the life you desire. When you free yourself from the prison of limiting beliefs, the world becomes your playground. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the story you're telling yourself. It's time to rewrite that story and step boldly into the life you were always meant to live.